Hello everyone, welcome to The Drop. This is the official podcast of ComicDrops.com. We do this little shindig every single weekend. I am your host, Josh Sharp, and joining me today are my two super awesome co-hosts. First up, we have Andrew Lilly. Andrew, how you doing, man?
Pretty good. Glad to be back.
Yes, indeed. And last but not least, of course, we have CabooseXBL back with us again. Dude, how you doing?
Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be back.
Awesome. So we actually have a nice little variety of news to talk about today. It's not a bunch of Marvel news or a bunch of DC news. A nice little jambalaya, as I say, a nice little jambalaya of news. And I guess we can start with the most recent bit of news that came out. We actually have our first look at Star Wars Rogue One, which is a prequel to the original trilogy, Episode 4: A New Hope. The movie is directed by Gareth Edwards, who directed Godzilla, which is a personal movie I actually enjoyed.
I enjoyed it.
You liked it too?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think it was amazing, but when it came to, like, Godzilla throwing down, that was really cool.
Yeah, it was, people, I saw a lot of people complaining about how they didn't show enough of the monster and stuff like that, but I didn't have a big problem with it. But back to Star Wars, I'm intrigued by the movie, and I'm gonna go watch it, but the whole Death Star thing is just kind of played out for me. We've seen it in now 4 movies, the original trilogy, and now The Force Awakens. We've seen it time and time again, and while I do enjoy like Death Star like stories and like stuff that goes on with it, I'm just kind of over it because we've seen it so many times. There's the trailer has like a bunch of like mysteries in it, as well as like the guy who's in the hood and who is surrounded by those royal guards. People are saying that it's Darth Vader outside of his suit, which makes no sense whatsoever considering he needs the suit to live. But yeah, like I said, the movie looks fun. The movie looks enjoyable. I'm going to go see it. I'm just kind of tired of the whole Death Star story. Caboose, what do you think of Star Wars Rogue One?
The trailer looked great, actually. I mean, I'm really excited for it. I'm not, like, going crazy over it. Maybe that's just because I'm not as big of a Star Wars fan as a lot of people out there are. But I mean...
Gasp!
But I mean, like, it looks great, like Gareth Edwards, just as you mentioned, what he did with Godzilla, like, some people had a problem with it, yes, but I'm pretty sure that everyone I've heard that didn't even like the movie thought that the last 15 minutes was something else, so it's very apparent that the dude knows how to direct action, and a film like Star Wars isn't going to be a film that cuts away from the action at any opportunity that is presented to us, so I'm sure we're going to see plenty of good action in there, plenty of good CGI, especially considering what he did with Godzilla. It looked great. So I'm really excited, and I mean, it has this real grit to it. A lot of this band of characters, it almost feels like it's a Suicide Squad kind of, these like band of misfits coming together to steal the plans for the Death Star. That is like such a cool concept to me. But yeah, it looks so cool. I think what excites me the most is, we don't have any Jedis. There's not lightsabers flying around. It's just these normal characters, these normal people that we can relate to. I mean, not to say that we can't relate to these Jedis and things like that, but these normal characters, grounded characters that we can relate to in this scenario where it's like life or death, and they're forced to be put into that scenario for the fate of the world, whatever it might be. But yeah, it looks cool. Blind guy with a stick, that is awesome, beating the crap out of stormtroopers. You got Forrest Whitaker busting some badass lines. Like, I'm really excited for this movie. I think it's going to be awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it's a Star Wars movie, so it's going to get people in seats. So, I mean, it's just by the name alone.
Definitely.
Yeah. Andrew, what do you think of the film or the trailer?
I think the trailer was pretty good. I'm really interested in this one. As the director said, this one's more of a war movie, and we just haven't gotten to see that at all in Star Wars. And yeah, it's different. It's grittier. It's that's kind of what I've always wanted to see with Star Wars. My heart is still broken over 1313 being canceled.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. That game that they showed at E3. It looks so good.
Yeah. So I've been
I
waiting
forgot about
for I've been waiting for that kind of Star Wars to be represented, and I think Rogue One is probably going to be the closest we get to it right now until maybe the Han Solo movie. But yeah, I think
appear in Rogue One as well.
Who's that?
Han
Solo? I did not hear that.
There's a rumor that he's gonna be in it.
Yeah. I guess we'll see.
It's a rumor that him and like Yoda and of course Vader. But yeah.
Yeah. So I'm interested to see. Is this more of an ensemble film, or is this like just one character that we're following?
I think it's from what I can tell, at least from the trailer, it seems like it's this one character that we're following, but an ensemble kind of grows around her as this adventure starts being pushed forward. But I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. My only big complaint, though, and I've probably put this on Twitter a few times now, is the lack of aliens and different species. I really want to see more aliens, and
yeah,
we sort of saw it with Force Awakens a little bit, I guess, but not really. So I was kind of hoping that we'd see more with Rogue One, and maybe we will. But just from that trailer, I don't even think I saw one.
Yeah, so, I think the reason why you didn't see like any kind of like creatures or like any kind of non-humans, like kind of like humanoid type deals, is because like it's a teaser trailer and they kind of want to give you a feel for the movie.
Yeah,
and like
that could be it.
And the main character and stuff like that. So maybe that's why they didn't show it, because they don't see it as I guess as important, because we all know it's Star Wars. We're going to see like weird like looking creatures and animals and things like that. So it's pretty much a given. But I guess that's maybe why they didn't show any in the teaser trailer. But there may very well be just not have any in the movie, which would be quite weird. But,
I'm just hoping. I'm just hoping one of these days maybe we'll get like another Chewbacca, like another species alien who's going to be like a supporting character or even a lead. Wouldn't that be kind of cool?
Jar Jar Binks.
Oh God, no!
Misa hate everything. Freaking oh God!
But
I
yeah,
hate that thing with a passion.
Yeah, it looks good. I'm excited for it.
Hey, you want to know something people weren't excited for, or after the fact? The Walking Dead season 6 finale.
Oh,
people were not happy with the ending of that. I would say spoiler alert, but in retrospect, there really isn't anything to spoil. Unless you want to watch the episode for yourself and be disappointed for yourself, then by all means,
you want to waste
go ahead and do
of
it.
your life. I mean, it's up to you.
Yeah, actually, it's an hour and 30 minutes.
It's an hour and 30 if you watch it like on live television with the commercials. But I think without the commercials, it was an hour on the dot.
You mean to tell me that we sat through 30 minutes of commercials?
I believe so.
Unbelievable. that just adds just fuel to the flame.
Salt to the wound.
Yeah, like, oh my gosh. All right, so like I said, if you don't want to know anything about the episode, and if you haven't watched it yet, then just click away. There are timestamps in the description, so you'll be able to hop around and do whatever you want. But I guess diving right on in, the back half of the season has been basically just building up to Rick's group coming into contact with Negan's group. They're called the Saviors. So basically, the season finale was basically kind of Negan's group kind of herding Rick's camp into an area to where they could take their weapons and I guess introduce them to Negan. That way he can give him the lowdown on how things are going to work now. He's like, you work for me, give me half your stuff, and I won't have to kill you. And what was really cool about the way they introduced Negan, who, by the way, is played beautifully by Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Absolutely.
He does a fantastic job. I'm very, very excited to see like what else he's gonna be doing with the character. But basically the way that Negan is introduced in the comics is the exact same way, or almost the exact same way they introduced him in the show, like dialogue and all. Of course, they cut some things out because Negan's he has a foul mouth in the comics. He drops a lot of F-bombs and stuff like that, and they can't do that on AMC.
And we're probably gonna see on the Blu-ray that foul mouth more Negan that we're looking for.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna get that because they've already announced that the Blu-ray cut is going to have like F-bombs, so it'll basically be an R-rated Blu-ray season of The Walking Dead.
Right.
So yeah, like I said, he gives Rick the lowdown, lets him know how things are gonna go now, and then like just like he does in the comics, he's like, all right, so you guys killed my men, so I'm gonna beat the holy hell out of one of you. So he starts choosing eeny meeny miny mo like he does in the comics, finds the person he's going to kill. But you see it from like a first-person view, so basically, like if you're playing like Call of Duty, that's the kind of camera that you're looking at right now, where he's looking at you, and then he begins to beat whoever it is in the head. The camera cuts to black, and you still hear him beating whoever it is over the head. You hear like brain squishing, blood spatter. You can hear like some of the other members of the group like screaming and like some crying and stuff like that.
You hear very faint sounds of them screaming, so that they don't let you know who it is who died.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that was. I'm glad you jumped in and said that because people were like, "You're lying! Oh my god!" And they just started, I don't want to get all hate, but yeah, you can hear faintly people like crying and saying like, "No, like that," and then the episode just ends. Just ends like that. They don't tell you who dies. So basically, you wasted an hour and a half of your time sitting in front of your television screen waiting to figure out who died because the producers and the showrunners have been teasing this super large death for the past. What, like 4 months, right?
Listen, all I know is this show needs to stop treating its viewers like idiots. It's enough is enough. Like, I have been with this show for what now, 8 years that it's been on air? I mean, we're only like 6 seasons in, but with the mid-season breaks, it's been about 8 years since the show has aired, right?
Yeah,
or what, 6 to 8 years, whatever. It's been a really freaking long time, and I've been watching this show every single week, just hoping it would finally start to pick up again. And like, I don't know, since like season 2, season 4 had some glimmer of hopes. Like there were some episodes in this season where I was like, holy crap, this show has made its comeback. It's brought its way back to form, and I was expecting it was going to be good again. When they cast Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Negan, I was like, this is it. This is going to be the villain. And maybe he will be. We still have season 7 to wait and see for that. And his introduction, like you mentioned, Josh, was great. It was a good introduction. They showed off the character well. So I'm just so sick and tired of the cliffhangers and the stupidness. It's enough is enough. The Glenn thing was already, for me, a step too far. Like, that was already to the point where I was like, okay, like, we need to calm down here. Because I knew as soon as they did it, I was like, there's no way they're going to kill him off. And then they bring him back, and then he almost dies again. And it's like, it's so dumb that they pull these stunts to get viewers. And then you had the whole thing with Daryl in the second last episode. Another cliffhanger, like, as if nobody knew that he was going to come back for sure. Even though I really want him to die. I don't know about you guys.
What?
I hate Daryl because ever since season 3 or season 4, whatever it was, when Merle died, his brother, all his character has done is mope around and not shower. So, like, I don't know about you guys. I hate Daryl. He has had no character development. He has had no character arc. All he's done is, like, ride a bike and make cool faces and smoke cigarettes and be an asshole 24/7. It's so... I wanted his character to die, but I knew
you really don't like Daryl, do you?
I don't. I really don't. I knew his character wasn't going to die, though. And then, like, this last episode, for an hour and a half, with an insane amount of commercials, they're teasing this villain that they've been teasing for the entire latter half of this season. And we're waiting to see him, and his introduction is great, but they just play it out for, like, 5 minutes. Him walking around thinking of what person to kill. It's so obvious that they're just not going to show you who dies. It was either that or they were going to, like, I don't know, show the character who dies, get hit in the head, and cut to black. And that was it. Which I would have honestly thought would have been way better to do. Like, yeah. I'm sitting here and I'm wondering, like, why is it that the second most watched show in the history of television right now is pulling stunts to get higher ratings? Like, why do you have to treat your audience with so much disrespect and make them feel so stupid and so unsatisfied with your show to the point where it's like, oh, well, I guess we're forced now to come back and watch your season 7 premiere to find out what character died. It's not going to be Glenn, and if it is, then that is it. I'm quitting the show. Because if it's Glenn, we waited 7 months for something that we already knew about through the comics, and that's 50 to 75% of the audience that watches the show already. So it's not going to be Glenn. My best guess is it's going to be Daryl, because he's already bleeding out and dying. And if it's Daryl, that'll be pretty huge. But at the same time, like, it would have had so much more impact if they'd just shown it in the finale, because they've hyped it up. All these actors are sitting here saying, oh, I read the script and I was going to throw up. I read the script and I threw it halfway across the room. What happened in the episode? Can any of you guys point out, please? What happened in the episode that's worth throwing up or being that upset over? Was it when Negan said something about Pee Pants City? Did that, like, freak them out? Like, oh my god, I'm thinking about
gosh,
people
pee, urine!
Like, what is it? What is it? I want to read the script that they read. Because from what I'm hearing, none of the actors know which character died. So they wouldn't have felt disgusted about any of their friends being brutally murdered the way that Negan does to this character in the comic books. So what was it? Why were they hyping this thing up so much? You know, like, stop bringing our expectations so high just to have them completely killed like they do every single time. Who remembers back at, like, season 4 when they were saying, oh yeah, like 20 people die in this season finale, and it was a bunch of random people that the governor kills. Like, enough is enough with the show. I hate to be treated with so much disrespect. The cliffhangers are so stupid, and people are coming at me on Twitter like, oh, Caboose, The Flash did a cliffhanger, and so did Breaking Bad, and you don't complain about those. That's because those are warranted cliffhangers that provide enough information before and provide enough questions after to warrant your wait to see what happens next. This is a cliffhanger where all that happens is someone dies. That's it.
And you don't know
There's
who,
nothing else there. There's nothing else that warrants this to be a cliffhanger. You could have just shown the character death, and then we would have been like, holy crap, Negan just brutally murdered this huge character, if it's going to be a big character, that is. And we're going to sit here like, what the hell's Rick going to do? How's he going to get out of this situation? Granted, I'm still asking those questions, so maybe it's not completely The Walking Dead's fault, but, like, this is a bad cliffhanger, and I really, really had a bad taste in my mouth for this show. And if it's someone not important that we don't care about, or if it's Glenn, that's it. Like, I am done with The Walking Dead. I'm sorry for Rant.
Oh, dude, man, you went in. I just sat back and I was like, I'm gonna let him go because
I had to get it off my chest.
Well, the thing is, like, you brought up a lot of good points, especially about the actual death itself. I feel like the finale would have carried more weight and would have been more, would have been better if they actually showed him kill whoever it is he killed, and then the episode end like that, because then you got people saying like, oh my gosh, this guy means business. He just killed this one of the main characters from the first season. Like, how is Rick to take this guy out? How is the group gonna even get out of this situation and all that stuff? And while you still kind of have that with what they did, it's still kind of meh, because you know somebody dies, but you're not really gonna care about it for the next 7 months, because why would you worry about that now? Oh my god, I was so mad at that. I've never wanted to throw my remote through a television screen until I saw that. It is just, it was a poorly done.
I think the best thing
episode
that has come out of this, though, is that everyone's annoyed by it. It's not just like me or anything like that, or a few people. It's like we're not in a minority for really disliking this, because from what I'm hearing on the internet, a lot of people really didn't like this cliffhanger and found it completely unnecessary. Mm-hmm. So hopefully, even though I'm pretty sure it won't make a difference, but hopefully this is a hint that the writers will take to stop pulling these stupid stunts on their viewers just to get higher ratings. Like, you don't need to get higher ratings when you're like the top dog on television right now. You got a spin-off show that's getting crazy ratings too, even though the show is just garbage.
The show was Fear the Walking Dead is so boring.
It's so bad. But, like, man, I'm sorry. You guys give your thoughts.
Andrew, go ahead, man. Did you watch the episode?
Yeah, yep, I watched it. Boy, I don't know what else to add. He pretty much covered it all. Yeah, I just, it was just so disappointing, and especially since they took you through an hour and a half, and the last 10 minutes were the only ones that were worth watching. I mean, the rest of it was just them running into roadblocks, turning around, running into another roadblock, turning around, and running into another one. And then the Carol story that no one cares about.
I really don't care about that.
Yeah, and
the whole episode there's no reason at all to watch it except for the last 15 minutes.
Exactly. And it's just like you said, they're just pulling these stupid stunts as if they're worried that we're not going to come back. And now we're kind of like, well, now we're forced to come back because they're pulling this stupid cliffhangers. And it's like, even if you had killed them, had they shown someone who had gotten killed, there'd still be a cliffhanger because you'd be like, oh crap, they just killed off so and so, and they're still stuck in Negan's his hideout. So it's not like it would have just killed like a cliffhanger for him. It still would have been just as interesting. It's just
But
I don't know.
But the thing is, the reason why people are so mad is because the producers and showrunners have been teasing this death for months.
Exactly.
They're saying someone's gonna die in the season finale. Someone's gonna die in the season finale. It's gonna be this big change for the show. Like, you're gonna see the show change in the ways never changed before. Blah blah blah. And then when you watch the season finale, they gave us a little half lie because while somebody did die in the season finale, they don't show you who. And the thing is, they know that the 90-minute episodes are the ones that people tune into the most because the past ones have been really good. When I think it was either season 4 when they went to the prison, when they actually discovered the prison, that episode was 90 minutes long. When the governor came to attack the prison, that was 90 minutes long. So those episodes are known to be were really, really good. I actually
the prison attack episode is one of the best episodes of The Walking Dead. It's so good.
And the thing is,
it really is.
And the thing that I like about it is they didn't rush through it. They drew it out because it took a couple episodes for I guess for everything to kind of just to the point where they would have to leave. But the episode was really well done. But I
you
feel
you look at the history of cliffhangers in television, and so many of them are so good because you're you're provided this big juicy piece of information, and it's that's it. Now wait until what you see next, and you're just clamoring for more. Whereas this one, it's someone dies, you can't wait to see it, right? That's it. That is
Stay tuned until Halloween.
Hell, okay,
Really?
listen, I know we'll get to this later, but I know a lot of people here don't like Arrow, and I know a lot of people online don't like Arrow, but we cannot sit here and lie. In Season 3, when frickin' Oliver gets stabbed in the chest by Ra's al Ghul and kicked off a cliff, and it cuts to black, we are dying to see what's next because we're provided all this information about what's just happened to his character, and we're like, did he just die? I mean, granted, it wasn't handled well when the show came back, but it was a good
Surprise! I'm not dead.
Yeah,
I'm just
survived
freezing.
a 50-foot drop with a knife wound in his head. But anyway, that's besides the point. But it's a good cliffhanger. You look at Breaking Bad when Hank finds out that Walter is Heisenberg, and he just looks up and it cuts to black. You're like, oh my God, he knows. That's it. It's over. The whole show has now shifted. With The Walking Dead, it's someone died, and that's pretty much it.
Yep. Oh, yeah, and I actually think you made this analogy. At some point we were talking. You made this analogy where you said that basically it was like you going to a restaurant and you're super hungry and you're excited for this food. You ordered it. You've been waiting for this for a while. You've been waiting all week for this meal because you earned it. You're like, yeah, I'm hungry.
You made your reservations. You're ready to go.
Yeah. You get you see the food coming towards you. The food hits the floor and they're just like, dang, man. I'm sorry. Hey, man, come back next week and I'll have a new one for you. No, I've been waiting here for so long. I've been this meal. I've been waiting for this meal, and you're just gonna have me wait until oh my God. I hate
pick up that dish, dust off the dust, and give it to me.
Dust off the dust. You son of a bitch. Freaking damn it. Oh my God. But the thing about it is we're not like you said, we're not the only people that don't like this finale. The fans are very, very like upset when they're not happy with it at all.
Which is good. I mean, like, even the hardcore fans, some people that I know that live, breathe, and die The Walking Dead, did not like this finale. And like I said, while it's probably not going to make a difference because everyone's going to tune into the season 7 premiere, I hope that this is just going to give these writers, give the showrunners a hint to stop doing this.
Yep. Speaking of fans not liking things, why don't we jump over to our next topic?
Boy,
so I usually
this episode is gonna make us all sound like just angry fanboys.
Yeah,
pretty much.
You're gonna think we're a bunch of like grumpy, freaking people that just hate everything. But I mean, this right here has really pissed me off, and it's pissed off countless others, and it makes me very happy. Spoilers for Arrow. I call it the Arrow finale because that's the last time I'm watching that shit. So basically. Someone else want to describe the episode because I really don't want to talk about it.
Okay, really so basically, we find out who's in the grave, and it turns out to be the one character that people didn't want to die, which is our good friend Laurel Lance, aka the Black Canary, breathes her final breath, even though I'm fairly certain because of the fan backlash, they're going to find a way to bring her back to the show. Maybe not this season, but the next. But yeah, she died, and her last piece of dialogue is about Oliver getting back with Felicity.
How disrespectful is that?
Bad. Oh my goodness. Listen, this doesn't nearly make me as mad as something like The Walking Dead does, because this show has fallen off the rails for a long time already. Like this is this is nothing new to me. It's like, oh yeah, looks like they've made another poor decision for this show. Same old, like, yeah, it's time to move on. Like, something with The Walking Dead, it makes me far more angrier because the show has so much potential to be good, and it's been really good. But Arrow has kind of really fallen off the rails. But I mean, I gotta say though, like, just to be honest, the episode itself I thought was actually like kind of good. And part of that is because Felicity wasn't there.
That's true. She didn't come until the episode.
She wasn't there. None of the relationship stuff. None of that was being handled. You know, it was just about the team doing some stuff, some fun action. You know, and then the ending happens, and it's really bad. But like, yeah. Besides the ending, I guess if you cut that ending of Laurel dying, I kind of almost liked the episode because the action was good. Malcolm Merlyn is still like really freaking awesome. I love John Barrowman. I'm so glad that dude's still around 4 seasons into this show. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that ending was rough.
Yeah. Oh my god. Ander, what about you, man? What did you think of the episode and the whole, I guess?
Terrible. Just terrible.
Absolutely terrible.
Just terrible. And it's yeah, just the last thing she says is just praising Felicity. I can't believe it. I didn't think they'd go that low, but they did.
Her last words were, "I'm really glad that you found Felicity, and I hope you find your way back to her. And although I'm not the love of your life anymore, you will always be the love of mine."
Man, this is just poor.
Are you kidding me?
You know what makes me mad too? And I saw someone point this out on Twitter. The writers are so scared of Oliver even having some sort of interaction with Laurel, to the point where he's the only one who doesn't say "we love you" back when everyone else.
I noticed that. Yeah.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
Yeah, it's just terrible, and it's just, and then they were yesterday on the DC website. They were just defending it so much, saying, "Well, this is our interpretation of Green Arrow, and we thought this was the smartest thing to do."
It's ass.
I just couldn't believe it. I mean, we all sort of knew it was coming, but like I said, it's just fan fiction at this point. It's just so bad. And
listen, if you kill off Laurel, that's all fine. You know, like that. It's a huge character death. You're trying to make some moves with the show. That's cool. Whatever. You know, like Laurel's a big character. I get it. I don't want her to be the one that dies, but it's like that will have made a huge impact to the show. It's the fact that they started to cater once again to this dumb relationship that everyone like all those Olicity whatever fans, supporters love. Like, they cater towards it again, even in the death of a major character. It's like, come on, like, because besides that, I understand, you need to show the villain's dominance. Right now, Damien Dark has done nothing but get locked up in prison and turn out to be a wuss, like, you need to show his dominance. So he kills off this huge character, and it's like, holy crap, he just did it. He just killed Laurel. He just killed the freaking Black Canary. But then her last line is like, you should be with Felicity. Okay, I'm dead now.
Yeah, oh my god, that irritates me so much. And I want to go back to what you said about them, like them not wanting any kind of, I guess, interaction between Oliver Queen and Laurel Lance, because we all know that the writers of Arrow just for some reason just love this melodramatic relationship between Felicity and Oliver. And check this out. This is what freaking Mark Guggenheim. First of all, Mark, if you're listening to this, I don't like you at all. This is what he says. He says, we're not immune to the shipping, and we're not immune to the internet controversy. When I say immune, I mean we're not blind to it. We've never made decisions on the show creatively because of the internet. Why are you lying? Oh my god, I hate this show so much.
Isn't it a literal fact that they called Felicity Overwatch because of a suggestion?
Yeah.
From a fan?
Yes. And not to mention, they used the word Olicity in the actual show.
They did?
Yeah, I never watched the episode. I actually saw it was like a screenshot that somebody posted, and it was like some kind of like news report, and it was just like Olicity. I think it was like Olicity breaks up or something like that. And they used the term Olicity in the actual show. God. Why are you going around to these news outlets telling them that you're not taking advice from the internet when it's obvious in your own freaking show that you're doing it? Like, I don't understand why they think this is a good idea. They're like happy about that they killed Laurel. They're just like, yeah, this was the best decision we could have made for the TV show. Like, shut up. Like, no, it wasn't. And the thing that pisses me off even more is the fact that next freaking week, Felicity's gonna be in the Black Canary costume going around.
For sure, though.
But it's so obvious. She's short. She has glasses. It's
pretty convincing.
Oh, I'm like, I really hope not. I really hope not.
God. This show is so bad. I'm praying that like Zack Snyder decides to just somehow put Black Canary in Justice League just to get Mark Guggenheim and his stupid little writing room away from that character, because then oh my god. Why is this show so bad? The show used to be good. The first 2 seasons were amazing. I love season 2. Season 2 is actually like one of my favorite seasons of superhero television in general. It's great.
If I can even say so, I mean, you put aside a lot of the stupid Felicity nonsense. Even like the episodes that James Bamford directed for this season, there's been like some serious potential. Like
there has
some good action. Damien Dark, I think, is their best villain since, of course, Deathstroke. Because who wasn't? Oh yeah, it was Ra's al Ghul in season 3, and they just butchered him so bad by the end of it.
I actually kind of liked his portrayal of Ra's al Ghul, honestly.
I liked it, but they made him seem like the absolute wuss of all wusses by the time it came to the season finale.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like Damien Dark's been pretty good. This whole powers that he had, the whole mysticism that they're doing. The episode Constantine was fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's like there's so many like little bits of just like a little spark of hope that there could be for the show. And it's like every time there is that little bit of hope and you start to reach for it, an Olicity fan grabs your hand and says, no. We own the show.
Get back here now.
Yeah,
like.
But unfortunately, I think what that comes down to is that these Olicity fans get them the ratings, and at the end of the day, the ratings is all they need to keep the show going, which is, it sucks, and it's terrible, and it's the same situation for me with Walking Dead. It's like, I would love for that show to get like a complete dive in ratings after that finale, just so they can say, okay, we need to make some better decisions, but it's just not how it's going to be. People are going to continue to watch the show like crazy. It's going to get millions of viewers, and they're just going to think, hey, what we're doing is right, so let's just keep doing it. And that's the same thing with Arrow. They're like, oh, we get a ton of viewers. We get to renew our seasons. We're going to have a season 5 now, and it's because of this whole Felicity-Oliver relationship, so let's just keep doing it. And there's nothing we can do about it, unfortunately. I hate it. I know a lot of the internet hates it. 99% of them do, but it is what it is, I guess. I don't know. It's really unfortunate.
I honestly think that they're gonna take a huge dip in ratings. I can't even list on like anywhere how many people I have seen say that they're gonna drop this show. And like it's gonna happen and it's gonna hurt them bad. And I'm looking forward to this so they can finally realize that they are absolutely butchering the Green Arrow mythos in this television show. Like, I love how in the beginning of the show it says, based on the characters from DC Comics. What characters are you basing this off of? What are you watching? What are you reading that this is?
They were legitimately trying to at the beginning. They called him Green Arrow finally and all this stuff. And it was like, hey, fans, don't you like the Green Arrow? Here he is. Well, wait. Olicity watches the show?
Oh, Olicity.
We should do that.
Ooh, Oracle? Not Oracle? Get out of here with that mess, man.
Yeah, they totally retconned that as soon as they saw the fan backlash.
I love it.
Well, she was
fantastic, man.
Well, she was paralyzed for one episode, right? And then she
yeah, what was that?
And then she miraculously walked again.
She was paralyzed. Yeah, and I love how like the first time she walked in months was her getting up out of the wheelchair, having no issues, and then just leaving. I was like, really? Like how? Like the writing of this show is so bad.
What
It's
if she
laughable.
started stumbling again? She just left her wheelchair in there.
Well, you know, they couldn't take the Oracle name, so they're like, well, what other female character from DC Comics can we steal from to make Felicity interesting? And then, all right, it's Black Canary now. So
It's just, and like you said, Caboose, some of the episodes have actually shown potential. I don't remember what the episode was called, but the episode that they went to go save, like the Atom, the fight choreography of that episode was very, very,
I think James
good.
Bamford directed that one, and that dude is
did he?
so good at directing.
Okay, yeah, that episode was good, and like and the funny thing is I feel like the only reason why they gave him the Green Arrow name was because so many people were complaining about them not giving him the Green Arrow name, correct? Almost certainly.
I guess so. I didn't really have a problem with it because I knew that the show was trying to be its own entity, you know. But like them giving him the Green Arrow name, I was like, okay, cool. They're really trying to shift into that comic book style. And hell, I think it was even not the latest episode, but the week before where it opened with the training with Speedy and Black Canary. I was like really loving it. You know, it was like nice. It was lighthearted. You know, he was giving these tips. He was being this wise dude. And I was like, holy crap! Like it's these little sparks, these little moments on Arrow that are like good. And it's like, why can't you just stick with that? You know?
You have to shoehorn Felicity and everything. I love it. Do you love how she just came out of nowhere? Like, in the hospital? Like, she just showed up, like, hey, I'm Felicity, I'm here. Like, get out. Go jump off a freaking, like, something. Like, go away. I don't like you. Jesus Christ, man. So, I'm pretty sure I know the answer. Do any of you plan on watching Arrow ever again?
I have to say yes.
What?
Just because I still have hope that this show can come back. I feel this was the episode, this was the moment where the internet really made its voice heard to the point where, you know, the writers and everything like that have responded to the hate. You know, like, they usually don't do that. They usually don't. At least not that I've seen. So, like, they've responded to the hate. They've seen it out there. And I have a glimmer of hope. I'm at least going to finish this season. Just see how it plays out. Just see what they do. And I'm only slightly excited for Season 5 just because that'll be the last season with the flashbacks.
Mm-hmm.
And that could be something interesting to see the lead up, to finally see Oliver getting off the island and getting rid of the flashbacks because, let's be honest, they've stopped trying with the flashbacks at this point.
Yeah,
they don't even
they're
give him
really
a wig.
stale.
They don't even try to make him look younger. It's just, he looks the exact same.
Same haircut and everything.
Yeah. Same haircut, same everything. So, I have, like, just a slight glimmer of hope. And I only still watch sometimes because of the cool crossovers that they do. Like, every time they do a crossover, it is really cool. Like, when Diggle was on The Flash or anything like that. Or the Legends of Tomorrow stuff. I thought that was great. So, like I said, I have a very small glimmer of hope. But if it keeps going down this slope, I'm probably going to have to end up quitting the show.
Yeah. I'm not watching again this season. I'm not. I can't take it. I like that episode put me in. It put such a bad taste in my mouth that like I've blocked the Arrow like social media from me viewing it because I don't want anything to do with that show until Comic-Con. If something comes out from this show that like actually interests me, then I'll give it a shot. I'll give it one episode. One. if there's one thing in season 5 that I think I'll enjoy, I'll give it a shot. If not, then it's in the toilet, like just like Supergirl, because I don't like that show. That show is not good, except for Martian Manhunter.
With Supergirl, when they did the crossover with the Flash, I thought that was really cool.
Really, I
Even
thought
though
it was
the
so
episode pretty
cheesy and
garbage
just
because the
boring.
villains were terrible. I thought it was pretty cool.
Andrew, did you like that?
I haven't
crossover?
watched it yet, but I heard that people liked it, so I'll probably check it out.
Oh, the CG just looked really weird, especially at the end when they were trying to like race and like throw Barry into the thing. If you look at the CG and the way that their faces look when they're running and they're just like, ah, it looks. If you watch, there's like a GIF or like a GIF or GIF? I forget what you call it. But there's one of them running, and if you look at Grant Gustin's face and the way his hands are moving, it's like one of the funniest and like just like dorkiest things I've ever seen. I was like, this episode just is not good. I didn't like it at all. I tried to get into Supergirl. I know I have a friend out there that probably hates me for even saying that I don't like the show. I'm sorry. I just don't. But
I'm with you there.
I mean, the show, like,
I think the show has made some big plays though. Having Martian Manhunter there, that is really really cool.
Yeah,
and when I saw that online for when it was first like shown, I was like, wow, that's something that's huge, because that's a big player in DC Comics. That's an A-lister if you're asking me, and they've put him on the show. I thought that was really cool, but yeah, I don't know, just I can't really find myself getting into it. I guess maybe part of it's because the season's already so far in to the point where it's like I really don't have the motivation to catch up. But I did watch the crossover because why not? And I wasn't too lost. Like I knew who all the character was, or all the characters were. I understood where the story was at that point, and I thought the whole crossover aspect was cool. Just the interaction with the Flash and Supergirl, I thought that was cool. Him mentioning, is there a Green Arrow on this Earth? Is there this? Is there that? I thought the whole crossover aspect was cool. But yeah, the villains were really dumb.
Yeah.
And really not good.
It's like it's kind of how like the Flash season 1 was, where how like the whole like villain of the week. I mean, basically every superhero show has done it at one point or another, except for like Daredevil and Jessica Jones. Those are like the exceptions of that whole.
Yeah, but they have much bigger budgets and everything, and a lot more like attention to direction and things like that. So they're paying attention a lot more to their scripts, whereas shows like Arrow or I guess we shouldn't talk about Arrow, but shows like The Flash and Legends of Tomorrow, let's say, they're like purely for entertainment. Like I'm not paying attention to cinematography when I'm watching those shows.
Yeah, I mean, to me, the supporting cast of Supergirl just isn't interesting. Aside from Martian Manhunter, who like I really, really, really want to see in like the Justice League movie, but I know it's not gonna happen right now because they're filming like in like 4 days, which is ridiculous. Like, can you imagine that? Like, Justice League, the freaking Justice League is beginning filming in 4 days. Like, how awesome is that?
It's awesome.
And speaking of Justice League, this is spoilers for the ending of Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Hopefully, you've seen it by now. I'm pretty sure you have. If not, like, why? What are you doing with your soul? So basically at the end, and you guys jump in if I'm missing anything. So basically at the end, Lex Luthor gets locked up, and Batman comes to him, and he was just like, like, I'm gonna be watching you, like, wherever you do, wherever you go, like, I'm gonna be looking at you. And Lex Luthor begins to go on about how the bells are rung, that God is dead, he's out there amongst the stars, and he's looking for us, and he's coming, and basically
he's hungry.
It is hungry, it is coming. I actually watched it yesterday. It's great. Ding 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 ding. So basically that whole scene was basically just saying, okay, Darkseid's coming. Now obviously not the mainstream moviegoer isn't really gonna know who that was, but for comic book fans, if you go back to the nightmare sequence with the Omega symbol burned into the ground and the parademons, those flying things that were like carrying people off, are sure signs of Darkseid. And Darkseid is basically like the big bad. He's basically DC's Thanos, if you want to, I guess, make a comparison. And since basically Dawn of Justice is a prequel to Justice League, everyone's like, okay, so now Darkseid's the villain for Justice League. But apparently that may not be the case. So according to Heroic Hollywood, they're saying that like Atlantis and Aquaman are gonna be like the main like antagonists of the movie, and apparently that like the Atlanteans and the Amazonians are gonna have like this 1,000-year conflict, which is gonna make them like not like each other, and there's gonna be like this big like quarrel between the two. And apparently they're saying that's gonna be like the main villain of the Justice League, which is basically Aquaman. I don't know how I feel about that. Like
So essentially, they're mixing the Flashpoint storyline and Throne of Atlantis, kind of meshing them together with the whole aspect of the Amazonians and the Atlanteans being against each other, similarly to how it was in Flashpoint, where it was Wonder Woman versus Aquaman, and then they got the whole Throne of Atlantis storyline with Aquaman, and I don't know who the villain. I don't know if they're gonna do Aquaman as the villain or if they'll do something like Ocean Master or even Black Manta or whatever they might do. But yeah, that's supposedly, I guess, what the story is, right?
I think so. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I'll just speak because Aquaman's my thing.
I would say, yeah. Did you go, man? Go for it.
Yeah, I'm actually totally okay with that because out of all of the Justice League members, I always found that Aquaman would have been the hardest to convince to join, mostly because of his obligations as King of Atlantis and his resilience to the surface world. So yeah, we hear that it's kind of a mix of Throne of Atlantis and what's it called? Flashpoint.
Paradox, yeah.
Yeah, and it would make sense that because like the events in Man of Steel, we were talking about how the world engine kind of came down, and whether it hit Atlantis or it just polluted the ocean, Aquaman's pretty pissed. So so you can understand why he would be a little hesitant to join the Justice League. And so I think that Ocean Master will end up being the villain of the movie. I think that if I were doing it, I would have him sort of as Aquaman's right-hand man. So you kind of think they're working together, and Aquaman kind of has like a change of heart towards the end of it, and then Ocean Master will be like, well, screw this. I still see the surface world as a threat. So that's kind of where elements of like Throne of Atlantis will kind of come in. At least that's how I would see it. But yeah.
See, I would like that, but at the same time, I feel like they could have done something to set that up in Batman v Superman. You know, like it's worrisome to me because like if that's the storyline in the Justice League, you have and we're talking spoilers here for Batman v Superman, right? Yeah. So I guess in case you didn't know, spoiler warning once again. But yeah, since we have Superman's death now, it's like Justice League, again, is going to be jam-packed with a lot of plots that have to play out. It has to be finding the Justice League, Bruce Wayne and Diana finding the Justice League, getting that team together. Then you got Superman returning, whenever it's going to happen. If I was directing the film, I would just make it happen in the opening credits and just have it be over with. Unless you wanted him to be some sort of a villain, and that would obviously mean that this whole story that we're talking about isn't true. But yeah, I would have it done in the opening credits. So you have Superman return, and then we're gonna have this whole conflict between Aquaman and the surface dwellers and his hatred towards them because of the events of Man of Steel or whatever it might be. And then you got the introduction of Ocean Master and all this stuff, and it's like it's worrisome to me because it's like it's gonna be hard to play that out even in a 2.5 hour movie. You know, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be difficult. I am excited for the Justice League like no one else is, but I don't know. This is like it's worrisome to me because it's like there's gonna be a lot to deal with in the Justice League film. So to introduce this whole storyline, it's like how the hell are they gonna pull that off?
Yeah. Even from my first viewing, I thought that killing Superman at the end of Dawn of Justice was a bad idea, because that that now have another storyline to flesh out and to work on in Justice League when you're already kind of not really behind, but you still have some catching up to do when it comes to like introducing like your teams and your team and like making them actually like the characters. You can't just be like, hey, hi, I'm Batman, join the Justice League. Hey guys, now I'm here, and then kind of just
there's always gonna be like some questioning or like scenes are gonna have to play out. You know, like it can't just be like, hey, you want to join this team of superheroes? Oh, okay, and like just do that 6 times or something like that. They can't do that.
Yeah, like and if the thing is, if they do that, the movie's gonna seem crammed because you're gonna cram in, bring all the Justice League together, make sure they have the right dynamic, making sure they actually like each other, because we don't need a rehash of Avengers where the team gets together and they don't like each other, and then crap happens. We don't need that. We've already seen that. It's over. It's done with. Getting the Justice League together, and then introducing Superman, or reintroducing Superman, bringing him back, and then bringing in the villain and figuring out what his agenda is, and like all this other stuff, and like in the supporting characters like Commissioner Gordon, Mira, freaking Black Canary, if you're gonna throw in there, what other Justice League characters you're gonna throw in, like Bat Family characters, like if you're gonna be putting this stuff in there, like it's gonna seem crammed, and just like everyone's like, oh, Batman v Superman was crammed, which really wasn't. This right here could end up being really crammed because it is a team movie. So
these are a lot of characters. They're not just supporting characters. These are 6 or 7, whatever it might be, protagonists. Like whereas Batman v Superman is really just about Batman and Superman, and everyone else is supporting. I mean, this is going to be the whole team. Like this, everyone's got to play in this movie, so it's gonna be a hard feat.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I just think having.
One thing. Oh.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just saying, one thing that they could do is just sort of like introduce like the Atlanteans and even Ocean Master, and then just sort of like allude to that there's animosity between the surface world and Atlantis, and then just kind of leave it there. So sort of kind of like throwing out like a thread for the Aquaman movie.
Yeah, save for the Aquaman movie, definitely.
Yeah, because we know that the Aquaman movie is going to follow Justice League and the story from it. So, and maybe that'll help with the making it not seem too crammed. Because I'm still hearing reports that Brainiac is still the villain.
I really want Brainiac to be the villain. I really
would prefer that. I would prefer Brainiac be the villain. Just because, like, I still would like the whole conflict with Aquaman and the Surface Dwellers, because you're right, Andrew. Like, he would be the one who's most hesitant of joining the Justice League. Like, even, I mean, maybe next to Batman, because Batman just trusts absolutely nobody. But because Batman's going to be the one in the Justice League film to be seeking out people to join the Justice League, Aquaman is the guy who's going to be the most hesitant. So I want to see that play out, but I would like Brainiac to be the villain, because then it's like you have a lot more ties to Superman and his return and everything. And I think it would be better, to have like this intellectual villain who can speak and who can battle the Justice League, Whereas
and then you can save.
We really didn't get that,
Then save Throne of Atlantis for the Aquaman movie, and then
absolutely,
there you go.
Yep. And then save the whole like Flashpoint thing for an actual Flash movie, like because that story is the story that needs to be fleshed out. I don't want to see it crammed into a movie just to give that movie more. Like I want to see that
part of the answers play out by the time we get to Justice League Part 2, which is I think when we'll see it all unfold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but you're right. By the time we get to the Flash, I'd like to see a hint at it at least.
Yeah. So.
Agreed.
So yeah, just like I said, Justice League begins filming in 4 days. So within the next couple of weeks, we'll start seeing some set photos, and maybe we'll get like an official synopsis. I'm praying for like a full team photo on the 11th, because that's the day before my birthday, and like I want that.
I'd only assume that we get one, because like unless they're not filming in public locations, things are gonna leak.
Well, it's in London, right? Yeah, they're filming in London, or at least no. I'm sorry, no. Ben Affleck like rented a home in London for his family.
No, they're in London, yeah.
So okay, yeah.
It just depends on whether or not they're filming indoors or if they're going to be outside and filming outside. So I guess we'll see.
I hope they're filming outside, because I really like. I just can't believe it's actually happening. Like I remember watching the Justice.
Real.
Yeah, it's freaking real. I remember watching the Justice League cartoon like Saturday mornings and be like, man, like I want to see them as like real people. And now that I'm like almost 21 years old, now we're like we're closer than we've ever been before, and I'm very excited. So yeah,
absolutely.
You guys have anything else to add before we get to I guess the fan questions?
I think that's it for me. I'm super excited.
Word.
Ooh, yep, just excited. Need those photos.
Yeah.
Need something with Justice League.
Yeah. All right, so before we get out of here, I want to have we've got a couple of fan questions that people have sent in, which is thank you for everyone who actually who sent your questions in. So I guess we'll jump right into it. I feel like I'm gonna pronounce his name really wrong. Amalak Khan.
Amal Khan?
Amal Khan, is that it? Amal Khan? I don't know what I was trying to say. Well, they say, do you think Laurel faked her death, or is she really dead?
I think she's really dead. Although
you think she's dead?
it is an interesting fan theory because she says to Oliver, "I want you to promise me something," and they cut away from the conversation. So she could have said something. She could have said, like,
And she starts
I'm gonna fake my death here. You need to play along with it so that Damien Dark thinks I'm dead, this and that, so that he won't hurt my father or whatever. I don't know. Like, there could be something there, and that would be the moment where I'm like, "Oh, they did it! They did it. They saved the show." But I don't know if the writers are that smart, so we'll see.
Barely. Ander?
I'm gonna say that it was real. Until they're hurting with ratings, and we won't know that until the show comes back, which I think is in like 2 or 3 weeks. I think the next one's like the 27th.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and if they really do have a dip in ratings, then maybe they'll conveniently say that she faked her death. But as of right now, I think she's probably really dead.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I think it is. I think it's true, even though there is evidence there, or there is enough there to say otherwise. I mean, even the showrunners have come out and said, like, "Yo, this isn't a fake out this time." But then again, people are prone to lie
but then
sometimes.
again, they said that Benedict Cumberbatch wasn't playing Khan in Star Trek Into Darkness, so
then
some people lie to throw off the viewers.
Yeah. So it's very possible that that she is alive, but I'm almost certain that she's dead, and I hope she is, because then Mark Guggenheim can now not butcher her anymore. Zack Snyder, go ahead and take her, do whatever you want. So let's go with that. I'd much rather have that. I'm pretty sure you guys would too. Next up, we have a question from MaxVChiz_2.0, who asked, "What are you looking forward to seeing in the Doctor Strange trailer?" For those of you who don't know, we will be seeing our first look at Doctor Strange during Jimmy Kimmel on Tuesday, April 12th. Yeah. I forget what time Jimmy Kimmel comes on, but it's like a late night TV show, a late night talk show. And it's basically part of like their whole Marvel week that they're gonna have. I think they're also going to show some Civil War footage. They're going to have the cast there, and they'll be talking about the movies and stuff like that. So yeah, what are you guys looking forward to seeing in the Doctor Strange trailer? Andrew, we'll start with you.
Well, I'll admit I don't know too much about Doctor Strange. So I guess I'm just kind of curious to see really anything. It's a new thing that they're introducing in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We haven't really seen magic. Except for in Age of Ultron a little bit with Scarlet Witch. So I'm excited to see a new area of Marvel that they're exploring. And I'm just kind of curious to see how Benedict Cumberbatch portrays Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Caboose?
I'd like to see at least some of the origin story. Like they obviously need to introduce this character to an audience of people that don't know who the hell Doctor Strange is. So I'm looking forward to maybe seeing some stuff of him being that cocky surgeon and everything like that, if that's the angle that they're going to go with in the film. I'm looking forward to seeing some footage of Chiwetel Ejiofor, maybe some stuff of the Ancient One, and of course, because it's Scott Derrickson directing and it's Doctor Strange, I'd like to see some like acid trip imagery in this trailer.
Yeah. Wait, how did you pronounce his name, dude? Because I butcher that. Chiwetel
Ejiofor.
Chiwetel Ejiofor. Is that I just say it right?
I believe that's how you say it right. That's what I've heard a majority of people say. So
okay, because I've literally made myself not say the guy's name because I didn't want to butcher it. I was just like, oh yeah, that guy who's playing Baron Mordo, like that guy, yeah. But yeah, actually, basically what you guys said is but Doctor Strange is actually one of my favorite Marvel heroes. I find him really cool, and I'm super excited they have Benedict Cumberbatch playing him. Cumberbatch is one of my favorite actors right now, and I wanted him for Brainiac. I really, really did, but I'm happy he's playing Doctor Strange. I definitely want to see like a different tone because in my personal opinion, the MCU has been around for almost 10 years, and I feel like now that I've watched all of them, I feel like the kind of like tone and the feeling is just kind of getting kind of stale to me, and I'm kind of done with it. I'm not saying that just because I enjoy DC films like a lot. I'm just saying that there's just something about the movies that just they kind of blend in with one another. Like you can't really tell the difference between Ant-Man and the first Iron Man, you know, or the two Thor movies. They feel exactly the same. The Avengers movies, they're just kind of like I didn't like Age of Ultron, but I really want to see like a nice little different feel to Doctor Strange. You've got the mysticism, you've got magic, you've got these cool things. So the potential is all there for a new, fresh, and exciting Marvel movie. And I'm not saying Marvel movies aren't exciting. I'm just, like I said, the whole kind of lighthearted, just kind of like it almost feels like now obviously I might get some hate for this, but watching our Marvel movie, I think like the Avengers, it feels like somebody just like dumped a bag of Skittles in my mouth. It's just super colorful. It's like uber sweet and stuff like that, and I'm just kind of over it. So I'm hoping for something.
Yeah, it's like once you have a couple Skittles, it's like, man, this is good stuff. But once you have like 20, it's like, okay, I'm starting to cut up my mouth here. I'm pretty done with these Skittles.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Like I'm like, yeah, give me some chocolate. But yeah, like I'm looking forward to something new and something fresh from Doctor Strange, and I'm almost certain that we can get it. And I honestly believe that Doctor Strange has the potential to be the best comic book movie this year, and I hope it is because oh god,
that's me with X-Men. That's me with X-Men.
Really?
I think X-Men has a huge potential to be the best comic book movie this year.
I'm gonna see the movie, but it just seems like another X-Men movie, you know? It really does. Like, and I'm not bashing you liking it at all. It's just like it just seems like another X-Men movie.
No, I'm kidding.
I'm attacking you. But yeah, it just seems like another X-Men movie. Like I don't know. It just seems like another X-Men Last Stand.
That's fair.
So, yeah, Doctor Strange. Yeah, like I said, don't forget Doctor Strange trailer. Jimmy Kimmel Tuesday night. Do it. So this next question, I'm laughing at the guy's name who said this. So Pooh Digga, that's POOHDIGGA, Pooh Digga asks, how do you think the DCEU will introduce Red Hood and Nightwing? Caboose, we'll start with you, considering you are a very, very, very large Red Hood fan.
Yeah.
How they will introduce Nightwing and Red Hood all depends on which Robin is the Robin of the suit that we see in Batman v Superman. But assuming that that's Jason Todd, I'm pretty sure then that will mean that that Scott Eastwood is playing Dick Grayson in Suicide Squad. Mm-hmm. Because David Ayer has come out, and he said, like, you'd be surprised how connected Suicide Squad is to the DC Cinematic Universe. So I'm expecting, besides, the Joker and all that stuff, that there is, like, a large dot to connect between those films. Being Scott Eastwood playing Dick Grayson. So that's how I think they will introduce Nightwing. He's some sort of double agent, whatever it might be. As for Red Hood, I know there's a lot of people out there. Again, spoilers for Batman v Superman if you haven't seen it yet. There's a lot of people out there that think that the Red Hood story is completely thrown out because of the fact that Batman is a killer in Batman v Superman. I have a theory on this, or at least an explanation as to why Batman is a killer in Batman v Superman, and my explanation towards why I think that he won't be after the events of Batman v Superman. And you can check that out on CabooseXBL, the channel on YouTube.
Shameless plug, yeah, there you go.
Basically, I give my whole theory about why I think that after the events of Batman v Superman, Batman has learned his lesson. He's no longer a killer, which of course still leaves open the entire Red Hood storyline, and I am almost thoroughly convinced that is what the solo Batman movie is going to be about, because when the rumor had come out that Geoff Johns and Ben Affleck were writing a script together for the solo Batman film, the rumor also stated that it would be based off the Red Hood storyline.
I forgot about that.
And since then, Kevin Smith has confirmed that that Geoff Johns did help Ben Affleck write a script for the Batman film. So I can only assume that entire rumor is true and that a Red Hood film would be happening when the solo Batman film comes, which I'm assuming is going to be the 2018 slot that they just added for the two separate DC films.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, so apparently, like, we'll get back to the question in a second. But yeah, there are two films that have actually been, there were two unannounced dates, WB dates, for, I think one of them is November 2nd, 2018, and the other one is like June something, right? Or August,
yeah,
I don't know.
I know they moved up Wonder Woman to like June 2nd, 2017. And then there's one in 2018, which is, I believe, late 2018. and then there's one in I can't remember. I think it was 2019, which I can't remember the exact date for it. But there were 2 unannounced DC films. They said specifically that there were DC films, not just WB films.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm willing to bet any money that one of them is the solo Batman film. And I'm assuming they're gonna find a way to get Red Hood in there because he is a popular character. I think he's sort of become too popular. I love the character because I've loved Red Hood ever since that storyline. Mm-hmm. He's my favorite Bat family character. So I'd love to see the story play out. I know a lot of people out there think he's kind of become overrated, and that's largely due to the stupid Red Hood and the Outlaws comic book, which completely dumbed the character down to I shoot guns and have swords, but yeah, I'd like to see that storyline play out. Even if he was still a killer, it would be interesting to see how they try to work around that story. I mean, the entire core of the story is because he's against Jason Todd being this killer, but hell, Jason Todd being back, this guy being alive once again, you can have Ra's al Ghul be in there and everything. There's a lot of potential there, so they can do it.
Yeah. So the dates are October 5th, 2018, and November 1st, 2019. So I think like everybody, I think the October date is for Batman. Mm-hmm. It seems like the most logical. Because like you said, the Jeff Johns and Ben Affleck working on the script, and they said that they want to get it out, because that even though the critics who have hated Batman v Superman, they've all said that Ben Affleck was amazing as Batman. So I'm really excited to see when it's gonna come out. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be this date. And for the second date, it's gonna sound really weird, but I honestly think that it could be like Titans, and I'll explain why. The reason why.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, wait, what'd you say?
I was saying it could be a number of things, but sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Originally, I thought it was Shazam, but Shazam already has an April 5th, 2019 date, so I don't think that they would, push it back unless they have problems with the script or casting or stuff like that.
Just get John Cena as Shazam, please.
Yeah, man. Dude, I would, as much as I would hate to see that, I would watch that just because it's freaking John Cena, but I don't know. Never know. But the reason why I think it has the potential to be Titans is because we don't know. This movie is going to take place, whatever the movie ends up being, is taking place after Justice League Part 2. We don't know what kind of situation or what kind of world or what kind of state the Justice League as a team is even going to be in. So what I think is the potential that could happen is maybe some of the members of the league are missing or dead. Which allows room for sidekicks like Robin, Aqualad, Arsenal, and other people to I guess join alongside the rest of the remaining members of the Justice League to go find the remnants of the team or something like that. I don't know, but and then after that, maybe I guess the sidekicks realize that they could actually work together, kind of like a mixture between Young Justice and Teen Titans, where they kind of just the team sticks together because they realize they did a good job. And then people wouldn't have to wait super long for a Teen Titans movie because it comes out in November. Because I think Justice League Part 2 comes out in July. So you've got August, and then you got September, October, November, and November 1st could be the Titans movie. And people are like, okay, so we've seen these characters, not even 6 months ago. So they're still fresh in our mind. We still, we like them, cast likable people like freaking Michael B. Jordan for Aqualad, which I think would be a perfect casting. And then just do it like that. And then, of course, people are like, oh, Suicide Squad 2, which is probably the most likely to happen. But I don't know. I feel like Titans would be a good
Suicide Squad 2 or a Man of Steel sequel. But going back to the Batman thing, I'm thinking it's probably going to be a little similar to Iron Man 3 in the sense that it's going to be a visual narrative, where it's going to be Batman maybe talking to Alfred or something about Robin, and then we flash back to Robin's death or whatever, and then, kind of flash forward and this and that. I think that would be cool.
Yeah. Andrew?
Yeah, I think the first Batman movie is definitely going to be pretty much under the Red Hood somehow. I kind of wish both of them would be Batman movies because I just think Ben Affleck is amazing.
More Batman.
Have the rest of the DC slate be Batman movies.
I would have no problem with that whatsoever.
But I mean, I want Hush in there. So, I don't care when, but I want Hush on the big screen. That's why I kind of want that 2019 to be Batman 2. Come on. Yeah, I think Dick Grayson will probably be introduced. I'd say probably Suicide Squad if the rumors turn out to be true. But then when he would show up again, probably Titans. Titans would actually make sense.
You think so? Really? I feel so touched. Somebody else thinks so.
I'm
Well,
not
because,
sure
I mean,
though,
he
because
answered-
you have the Cyborg movie in 2020. I think that's going to end up being the Titans movie.
That's exactly. I was just going to bring that up. I really don't see Cyborg having a solo movie. I really think it's going to be changed.
What villains does Cyborg have? I mean, I haven't read any of his comics, so maybe I'm missing out on something. But I've never heard of a known Cyborg villain.
I just don't.
Yeah, does he have any?
I don't know, a computer, I guess.
I think the only one I know was during the Justice League when Grid was like the machine part of him took over or something. I can't even explain that. But I just don't see how they can make that marketable. But Titans or Teen Titans, whatever they want to do, is way more marketable than a Cyborg solo film. I know a lot of people would probably disagree with me, but I don't see it being made. So that's where I think we'd see Dick Grayson again, getting the team back together, I suppose.
Here's a fun theory. So we know at the end of Batman v Superman, Batman shows up at Lex Luthor's cell. We also know that it's rumored, at least from what people are seeing, that it's Bel Rev guards, right? Mm-hmm. So here's my theory. How the hell does Batman get all those lights to flicker and have this red light and turn on and everything like that all by himself? Unless, I guess, Alfred's working with him. But fun theory would be that scene ends up happening in the Suicide Squad film, and right after that is the whole Joker chase. So we got a Lex Luthor cameo in Suicide Squad. Dick Grayson is working with Batman to help him break into Bel Rev to send this warning, and boom, we're right back into Suicide Squad with the chase scene.
That'd be pretty interesting.
That's my theory.
So I just decided to look up Cyborg villains. There really aren't like any of these that would actually be other than like Deathstroke.
Because most of them are probably Teen Titans villains.
Yeah, you've got some name. This dude's name is Buddy. He's like a techno sapien. Let's see. We've got Detective Superman robot, Dreadnought, Grail, who actually looks like one of them. Basically, yeah, Grail. Apparently, wait, Grail's a cyborg villain? Isn't that Darkseid's daughter? I'm looking at cyborg villains right now, and it says that she's one of them, but that's weird. Yeah. Parallax, which is not. No.
I don't think they're gonna do that again.
The freaking fart cloud.
Wait, so you would want some no-name villain, or would you rather have like Trigon in the DC cinematic universe?
I want Trigon to be the
Titans movie. That would be awesome.
I want Deathstroke for a Teen Titans movie. Not Deathstroke. I'm sorry. Trigon.
I'd love Trigon.
God, I would love Trigon. Even though I didn't like the Justice League versus Teen Titans movie, I really, really enjoyed seeing Trigon again because I haven't seen him since the Teen Titans animated show, which I love so much. God, I love that show. But yeah, I think Trigon would be a perfect villain for Teen Titans. Nice little, very large villain for them to take on. That'd be cool. I guess, and the last question that we have today comes from the Rusty Ghost, who asks, "What's next for the MCU after Infinity War?" Which is a very, very, very good question. I've actually thought about this for a while. So I guess, Andrew, we'll start with you, man. What do you think is the next step after Infinity War Part 2?
You know, the next phases of the MCU are going to be really important because they're going to be so different. We have Black Panther, Inhumans, Captain Marvel, and then obviously this all leads up to Infinity War. And then, like you said, what do we do after this? Well, my thoughts was Secret Invasion would have been a perfect one The only problem is the Skrulls are kind of, I think they're owned by Fox, so
Yeah,
I think so,
Yeah,
yeah.
they are.
yeah, so that would probably not work. But we could always use the story arc Dark Reign, which sees Norman Osborn kind of taking Stark's spot, and so the government kind of like kicks Shield and Stark out, saying, "Well, you couldn't defend us from, say, Thanos," and so they bring in Norman Osborn, and he brings his own Dark Avengers, which are supervillains who pose as the Avengers. So that could present some interesting stories, seeing the villains as the
Could
good
work
guys.
too now that they have like the partnered rights with Sony.
Exactly.
They can have Norman Osborn
Yeah.
be introduced.
That'd be cool.
And then for the actual Avengers, we're going to have such a big cast that you can't put them all in one movie. So I was saying that they should break them up into two teams, like, say, Mighty Avengers. And that's, like your Thor, Iron Man, Captain Marvel. And then Secret Avengers could be like your Covert Op, Secret Agents, Captain America, Hawkeye, Black Widow, Falcon. That way you can focus in on the characters without feeling like the movie's cramped.
I mean, for me, I think that after Infinity War, that'll be it for a majority of the original Avengers. I think maybe someone like Thor will stick around because, Chris Hemsworth really hasn't had much luck outside of his Marvel projects. But yeah, like a character like Thor will probably end up sticking around for a little bit, and then they're probably gonna continue this whole Marvel franchise with like the B Team Avengers, or the New Avengers as you'll call it. Doctor Strange, Black Panther, Spider-Man, all these characters, Ant-Man, and that's how they'll probably continue it after the events of Infinity War or whatever it might be, because I think Robert Downey Jr. is kind of just getting to the end of his rope. There's only so much money they can give him per movie to get him to keep coming back. Chris Evans probably wants to take a break and do some directing or something, like he was saying. And then, like they got this super young kid to play Spider-Man, so he's going to be around for the next 15 years at least,
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're probably just going to continue on with like the secondary Avengers, the New Avengers. And I remember hearing a while back that they wanted Doctor Strange to kind of be this new Iron Man for the Marvel franchises, to be this new character who is like a fan favorite, who starts out to be this B character and turns out to be an A-lister, So if that ends up being what happens with Doctor Strange, that'll be huge. To have Benedict Cumberbatch, as a front runner for the future of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I would enjoy that. As for storylines, though, I'm not really sure. I mean, we got Baron Zemo coming in Civil War, and I don't think they're going to have that villain's arc begin and end with Civil War. I'd assume that they'd want to take that character a step further, so he could be a potential future villain. I don't know.
See, like I said, I've thought about this for a while, and part of me was just thinking that they would just end it, but they're not. They're not. There's no way. The MCU is not ending anytime soon, or at least anytime soon that I could see. Like you said, yeah, some of the people are gonna probably leave. Like I'm pretty sure Scarlett Johansson's not gonna play Black Widow anymore. Robert Downey Jr. is probably gonna be gone. Probably Chris Evans. So I mean, those. The thing is, like you said, like they'll still have a lot of people like left over, and they're still introducing people like the Inhumans and like that whole role, and the Guardians. Still have the Guardians too as well, and they have like Adam Warlock and however other people that you can introduce there. As for storylines, I don't really know that many Marvel storylines. There was one villain that I thought would be a good idea. Like I really, if somehow between now and 2019, if Marvel can get their hands on Doctor Doom and the Fantastic Four, oh, the possibilities are literally endless.
If they get those rights, it's like game over. Like I'm dead. I'm dead.
Yeah, could you imagine seeing Doctor Doom against like the Avengers? Like if they can get the rights by then, boom, you've got movies for the next 6+ years or 6-7+ years because Doctor Doom is a huge
They
character.
will do Doctor Doom justice, man. Like they have
Oh, yeah.
never done justice for a character before.
And then get the Fantastic Four on there as well, and you can. Oh
Agreed.
my god,
It would be awesome.
Yeah, okay. So I think that's what should happen. As for what will happen, I honestly don't know. I don't see many places where they could go. So yeah. You guys have anything else to add before we get out of here?
John Cena really needs to play Shazam.
That's the theme song of Shazam. It's just that'd be great. Andrew, you have anything else to add?
Nope, I think we covered it all.
Word. Well, I want to thank everyone for joining us today. It was a lot of fun, ranting, yelling, kind of crying. All the emotions. It was absolutely wonderful. I want to thank my two co-hosts for joining me today. Andrew, why don't you tell the beautiful people where they can find you up on the interwebs?
Sure, I'm on Twitter at Andrew Writer. Come say hi, ask any questions. Just say Aquaman rocks. You're good.
Redheads.
And redheads. Yep.
The redheads. And Caboose, why don't you tell people about your YouTube channel?
Thank you, man. I am CabooseXBL on YouTube. I'm covering all the latest and greatest in the comic book movie world, talking about all sorts of things. I'm seeing Civil War in 6 days, which is insane, the fact that that actually happened today. So you can look for a review on that film on the channel. I'd also say be a little careful for spoilers. Stay away from social media and stuff because they're probably going to be out there come April 14th. I believe the embargo lifts for Civil War tonight, apparently.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I'm really looking forward to what people have to say. But besides that, I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Caboose_XBL. I have a Facebook page, but you really shouldn't go there because I don't manage it at all. So, yeah.
I've actually visited. There's really nothing there. I think the last thing you posted was like an Arkham Knight trailer or something like that. It's like a barren wasteland. There's like I'm pretty sure I'm surprised I haven't seen anybody go, hey man, where'd he go? Like
you have a better chance of seeing a tumbleweed come across your screen when you're on that page than you do for me posting something new.
Yeah, there's really nothing there. You can find me on Twitter at Dark Knight of Ren. That's 1K for the Dark of the Night. You can find me on Instagram at DCU News. Actually, one thing I forgot to mention. I'm surprised it's taken me this long to remember it. So there's gonna be some new Suicide Squad footage. I think it's Sunday, right? At the MTV Movie Awards. Yeah. I think we're also getting a sneak peek of Civil War. So make sure you check your local listings to figure out the time for the MTV Movie Awards and like watch it and stuff. Like I said, thank you for joining us today. And Caboose, I have to ask you to do your little outro because I think it'd be kind of cool. So can you do it, please?
All right. So the outro probably won't make sense for this, but it does for a YouTube video where I say, drop a like if you enjoyed, leave a comment if you have an opinion, subscribe if you're new. See you guys later.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, guys. Peace.